Hi and Happy New Year, and we are starting the new series. And this series is basically about spiritual stories, and these are not for children, these are for adults. So I'll start with my favorite Shani Dev's story. This is the story of Raja Vikramaditya. So once, like, all the nine planets fight, and they just like want to, they're just fighting like who's better, who's like the best among us, and there's this fight happening. And then Raja Vikramaditya was like very justice, like Nai Priya, like he was very famous for doing justice. So they all went to him and they were like, you now have to do justice and decide that who is the best among us. So Raja Vikramaditya basically is like known for it. So he thinks a lot, and then he decides to make all the singhasans according to the planets. Like he made a singhasan of gold. Singhasan is basically the seat of the king, of gold, silver, kasi, petal, ranga, jasta, and all the nine dhatus, and also like iron. And he says that those singhasans were according to the basically the like every metal is kind of connected to a planet, so he arranged them in chronological order of the how expensive the metal is, and then he told the planets to sit. So as per this arrangement, Mr. Shani has to like sit in the end, so he gets like very upset and he says that you don't know, Raja Vikramaditya, that what you have done, because you've not valued me enough. But sun only comes for 1 month, and moon for 2 days, and Mars for 1.5 month. And while Jupiter comes for 13 months, and Mercury and Venus for one month, and Rahu and Ketu, they walk retrogradely, but they still only come for 18 months in someone's life. But when I come for 2.5 years or 7.5 years. So you have no idea that how much I can affect you, and my greatness you have not realized. So Raja Vikramaditya said that I'm not scared of you, and whatever is in my luck or whatever it is, because he's a king and he thinks that he's doing justice, and he says no, no, like he doesn't recognize it at that point. So this discussion ends here, and Shani Dev becomes very angry and he goes away from that sabha. But then later on, when the Sadisati comes, like when the Shani period for Raja Vikramaditya comes, Shani Dev comes himself to take revenge from him, because he's like very upset with because he has insulted him deeply. So he feels like deeply insulted by him, and he comes to take revenge, and he comes as a businessman who is selling horses. So Raja Vikramaditya takes one of the horses and mounts it, and the horse runs with the Raja to the jungle. And Raja like keeps wandering there, and he meets one Gwala who basically tells Raja the way to the city. Raja gives him the only like ornament, like he's wearing a ring, which actually proves that he's a king. He gives it to that because he's also like very generous, because he's a king. So then he goes to this Seth, Nagar Seth, or like a jeweler. Basically goes to his shop. So the jeweler thinks that he's well dressed and everything. He must be from a good family. So the jeweler takes him home. And that day, like, jeweler has a lot of good sale when Raja Vikramaditya goes to him. So he takes him home to have lunch at home. So when Raja Vikramaditya is eating, there is like this gold necklace which is kind of hung on a nail, and Raja Vikramaditya sees that the nail is only eating the necklace. So when the jeweler comes and asks, where is the necklace? Like, it's very expensive. So Raja Vikramaditya said the nail only ate the necklace. But of course, like, nobody will believe that story, and it's all happening because of his Sadisati, or the Shani Dasha, and also like because he's offended Shani Dev, so it's to a greater extent. So Raja takes him to the king, and the king also doesn't listen to him, and they cut his like hands and legs, because that is a punishment of like theft in that kingdom, and they put him on the side of the road. But one oil businessman, like the oil person who takes out oils out of the mustard seeds, feels bad for him and takes him to his house, and there he uses his tongue to basically control the bullocks who are taking out the oil. So that is how he spends most of his Saturn phase. Then when his Saturn is about to get over, he one day he just thinks of singing, like it's very dark, and he sings the Deepak Rag. and Deepak, when he sings the Deepak Rag, all the diyas in the kingdom, like he's that good, they light up, because of course he's very qualified and accomplished, because he is a king. He's just going through a bad phase, right? So then they light up, and the Rajkumari, the princess of that kingdom, listens to that song, and says that like she takes an oath that I'll marry this singer only. And she goes to her father and says, I'm going to marry this singer only. The father inquires and says that, that person doesn't even have hands and legs. But she says, no, I'm going to marry him only. And they eventually get married. Then one day, when his Saturn Dasha is over and he's repenting, he dreams about, Shanidev comes in his dream and he says to him, and Raja apologizes to him and he says, now I've realized that how much power and how much strength you have, and I didn't value you enough, and I made a wrong decision, and I'm really sorry. Please, forgive me. So Shani Dev gets very happy with him and he returns his legs and arms. And so when they wake up, he tells them that I'm Raja Vikramaditya, and he goes back to his kingdom. And even that jeweler marries his daughter to the Raja Vikramaditya, because he's like very very apologetic and gives him like a lot of gifts and everything. So then he goes back and he's recognized in his kingdom also, because his phase is over. So this is basically the story of Raja Vikramaditya in short. What I feel is the moral of the story. Like everybody takes away different things from stories, but I feel the moral of the stories is that you never know that who is going through a bad phase. So you should be nice to people even when they're in a bad phase, because you don't know what they are capable of, and what their accomplishments are. Like even a king can go through a phase like this because of one wrong decision. But and also, like if you're going through a good phase, then also remember that I feel that he was able to restore his fortunes, because even during that like bad phase he did nothing wrong. Like he didn't do anything that could further harm his karma, and he was always a good person, though he made a mistake and he went through a bad phase. But he were able to restore all his fortunes and even more. And because he was he always believed in justice, he always believed in karma, and he was ultimately like a good person. He had like good karma, so he came through his bad phase unscathed. So I think that is the moral of the story. I hope you like this video, and I'll be doing 6 more spiritual stories, so wait for them. Bye bye, have a really really good year, and be very happy and take care of yourself. I think this year is it's really important that you take care of yourself. That's my message to you. Bye bye.